What's up, everybody? It is Blade here, and welcome back to some F126 My Team career mode. And today we are on to the Bahrain Grand Prix after taking a win there in Australia. The team is looking to carry this momentum forward as we go into the second round of the season. But without further ado, let's get into qualifying. So Bahrain is a much different track than Australia, and the energy deployment was crucial around here. And for this qualifying lap, I really did kind of struggle a bit with the energy and getting the braking down. Bahrain I used to be really good at with the ground effect cars, but with this one I just cannot seem to figure out the brakes around here for the longest time. End up dropping all the way back down to 15th there for a second, but I managed to catch back up in some of these braking zones. But I'm also completely cooking myself on some of them because the bots are getting back on the power a lot sooner than I am. And I'm just not seeming to understand how the downforce is working here. For whatever reason, probably because I'm not the brightest of the bunch, but listen, I'm working on it, alright? It's only the first season. We'll get there eventually. But nonetheless, I continue to kind of drop back and then catch back up, drop back, catch back up for most of this lap, and eventually managed to round it off with a nice, decent midfield starting position.
It's race day, it's Sakir under the lights, and it's lovely to have you with us for the Bahrain Grand Prix. We go racing today around the 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit, with 15 corners and 2 good passing opportunities into turns 1 and 4. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left tyre into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Russell, Verstappen, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and Piastri, Hamilton, Albon, Sainz, and Isaac Hadjar, Browning, Alonso, Leonardo Fornaroli, and Perez, Lawson, Colapinto, Ollie Behrman, and Esteban Ocon, Bortoletto, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Bottas, Stroll, and Arvid Lindblad rounds off the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And alongside me here today in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are into the race. We're looking at the strategies. I end up going with the more aggressive strategy. Starting P11, we're here waiting for the lights. 5 red lights. We are off, we are green, and we are going. Kind of a really mediocre start from me here. Nothing I'm really too proud of, but I managed to keep both cars beside me, behind me. Go for a crazy send here. Hoping I can stick it, but just that bump there kind of messed me up, and also holding 3rd gear for whatever reason. Almost get passed by Albon, but managed to hold on to it. Hunting down Piastri, I end up having a crazy amount of speed over him and managed to overtake him and Sainz in one corner. Have to kind of slam on the brakes to avoid hitting Verstappen and bump someone else. But I managed to slide up to P7 with now I have my sights set on getting Max Verstappen here. And we come down to one of the slower corners of the track. I just kind of slot myself into this little train there's got going on here. Max has a slight slide there, setting us behind the pack, and I also ain't too quick to getting back on the throttle. And in this turn here, I do my best Fernando Alonso impression to dive bomb Max and slide up into P5 with sights now set on Antonelli, who just a few seconds later I end up catching up to and making a nice little move here on the final corner onto the start-finish straight. And it is now just a drag race to the line, both of us in S mode deploying battery, but he lets off his battery before me, so I end up taking P5 and he just slots in behind me, and I don't lift and coast at all for whatever reason, not to charge my battery, and he sends it up the inside, manages to get his wheel up there, but it's just not enough to catch me. I end up holding on to the position with now my goal to catch up to the pack ahead, and Antonelli I assume is just going to sit behind me. He even tries to have a little look there, but it's just not going to be anything. I have to narrowly avoid Hamilton, with him actually coming up with a nice little move there, nudging my tire, but I managed just to keep him behind me as we go through this section here. But when we get back to the start-finish straight, he ends up getting the edge on me here, getting the overtake mode as we start lap 3 here, and he gets just right in front of me. I end up lifting and coasting here because I need the battery charge, and he's going to end up taking P5. And the goal, of course, now is just to keep up with him, try and get him. But a crazy thing happens as we come on here. I end up getting a new strategy pushed to me where I will box a lap earlier and onto the mediums instead of the soft. After going through the braking zone, I decide it's a worthwhile risk, so I take it. Not able to catch up to Antonelli, unfortunately, so I dive into the pits here, going from 6th and dropping all the way down to dead last, as I'm the only one who decides to do this. But to my advantage, I guess a little bit, I end up having an optimal pit stop, only 2.5 seconds. As you can see here, absolutely beautiful timing by yours truly right about now. As you can see, optimal. What can I say? I'm just absolutely goated with the sauce. Peel out of the pits here. As you can see, I've now dropped to P23 with Bortoletto being the only one behind me. He's DNF'd. So, obviously, here on my out lap, we come to the end of lap 7 where everybody else has started to pit. And I managed to just pass quite a few cars in the pits. I didn't expect to pass this many, but I managed to shoot up quite a few positions up into 14th, with there being Piastri next to me, but he holds the inside and manages to actually stay behind me. I thought he was going to go for something there coming out of the pits, but surprisingly he didn't. But as we come on to the start-finish straight here, about to start lap 9, he's going to get the edge on me with that overtake mode, and I do not have nearly enough charge to hold him off. And he's eventually going to pop out here and just narrowly start getting ahead of me, and he's just going to hold it. I try to go for the switchback, but I just don't get on the throttle enough, and he ends up taking off, holding the position for now at least. But we come on to this straight, which is where I passed him at the start of the race, and I managed to go for it again. I get around him a little bit, but he's still there, gets a nice inside move, and slowly starts to peel off, but I'm holding true to him as much as I can here, coming through the little S's. As we jump now to lap 9, it is now my turn to have the overtake mode, and he's charging. I end up getting around him here, but he's still right next to me as we go into turn 1. I'm doing everything I can to hold him off. Managed to keep him behind me a little bit, slight little almost spin there, but managed to keep him behind me. He tries to go for a little something here, but I just managed to stay next to him, preventing a full pass from being made. Outbrake him just a little bit. Kind of cooked the tires, but it's alright. He ends up staying right beside me, though, and gets just a better exit than I do. Nothing I can really do to hold him off there. Cruising through the S's once more, coming back to slow little corner. I have a little look there, but it's just not going to be enough for me. And we are now in a confirmed fight with Oscar Piastri to get P5. And we go down to this corner. I try to make a little Alonso impression, but it's just not enough. Instead, I try to do a NASCAR impression by bump drafting him through the corner instead of, out of the corner. I managed to go for a little look here and managed to successfully get through him in this corner. Thank goodness. It isn't until we get to lap 11 and we come on to the penultimate straight here before we get to the start finish that he has a nice little look on me, manages to get past me here as figured. I didn't know what to do, so I hold my charge a little bit to try and get a nice little move here on the start-finish straight, and I'm close enough to get the overtake mode, of course. So I have overtake mode, S mode, and I just start to scream that engine as we get next to each other, side by side, almost. But he manages just to get a little bit ahead of me. But into turn one, I get that little quarter panel there and manage to get around him, going back into fifth and blocking him off right there, which was kind of a turdish move on my end. We come back into this corner where he got me earlier, and I'm thinking I'm good, but no, I decide to just not understand how my brakes work, and he manages just to dip right in front of me. And as we get onto lap 12, I'm now looking at this, I'm thinking we're close to the end of the race. Maybe, just maybe, it'd be a good idea just to hold off until the last lap, which I try to do here, but as you can tell, I just kind of suck at this whole Formula 1 2026 regulations thing, and manage not to be able to hold him off, or sorry, catch up to him and take P5. So we're gonna have to rest with a P6, which starting from P11 was not a bad shout at all. Very great points for the team here. Very solid result, a decent drive by me, but I definitely think we'll do a lot better once we get to Saudi Arabia for sure.
Here's the checkered flag, and our winner has landoed. It's Lando Norris for victory.
I mean, it looked like they were in a different category at points during the race, led every lap. I mean, what more can we say?
It's what they've all been racing towards, waiting for them. High above the pit lane is our podium. And for the lucky three, it's time to stand on it. He holds the trophy aloft, and why shouldn't he? A richly deserved win today for Lando Norris.
Ladies and gentlemen, that will do it all for today. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe. Remember that Jesus loves you, I love you. This has been your boy Blade, and I am out. Peace.